So, Minecraft Live 2023 just happened, and I thought it was pretty good. You know, I like the things they announced. But if you clicked on this video, you know that that's not what I'm gonna talk about here. Because if you were in the Minecraft community for the past few weeks, you know a lot of shit has happened. Like an entire workers' union built off of the frustration against the tyrannical, authoritarian rule of the powerful, never listening to the people, with propaganda posters conveying their cause in such ways that rival William Shakespeare himself, formed to protest Minecraft mobs. Yeah, I've seen weirder things. You know, I was holding off on making this video because I wanted Minecraft Live 2023 to happen already so I could just see the entire, outcome of this entire situation so I could get a bigger picture just to understand what the fuck has been happening for the past few weeks and, more importantly, why this happened. So I guess we'll start from the very beginning. In the first mob vote in 2017, there were 4 mobs available to be voted for. A tentacle fish thingy, a cube, a bigger blaze, and... oh god. Oh no. No. Oh no. No, no, no. Oh no. It was a pretty cool concept, you know? You vote for what mob you wanted to be added into the game, and whichever one got the most votes, well, got added. However, one thing that was stated was...
and remember to vote, because the free ones that you don't vote for, they will be gone forever.
So, people voted, and Mob B won, and no one liked it. From the very first one, it's clear to see the glaring issues with it, because only one mob won and the others were pretty much axed. 75% of the fan base was pissed off that the mobs and features that they wanted were gone forever. Only the minority was satisfied, which is a detail that will be important later on. Now, in every single mob vote that has happened since then, there's just always been controversy. From controversial figures with questionable fan bases rigging the vote to whatever the hell has been happening now. With every single mob vote that has happened, disdain for it grew more and more. And with the updates themselves gaining more and more hate, this only really added to the fire that was forming. Which brings us to today, or I guess 2 weeks from today, when this year's mob vote was announced. And with people not already on board with it, things were gonna get a bit interesting. And then they announced the crab, which got people pretty excited. And then they announced the next mob, and shit hit the fan. Arguing, so much arguing. So many people wanted dog armor and so many others wanted reach, and a little bit, I don't know, maybe some people wanted penguins. I mean, I guess they're cool, I guess. China got involved, there were threats, Russia sent a nuke to the USA. That last part didn't actually happen, I just added it for dramatic effect, but you get what I'm saying, right? So seeing all of this chaos happening, another group formed. Remember when I was talking about people who already didn't like the mob vote to begin with? Well, they're back. And they formed a workers' union. All across social media, the Stop the Mob Vote campaign blew up with propaganda posters, a petition with almost 400,000 signatures, people spamming the chat of this year's Minecraft Live. Dude, it was crazy. And you could say I'm one of those people, because I posted some of the posters, because I am. And well, despite all the protesting, the mob vote happened, and all that petitioning, all that protesting was ultimately for nothing. But with all the jokes and everything, hate plus Twitter equals death threats and other bad things against the developers who, no matter how lazy you might think they are, don't deserve any of that. But this entire situation does bring up an interesting question. How do we stop this from ever happening again? A question which seems simple, you know, adding all 3 of them into the game, but gets pretty tricky when you look into it. Because let's be real, folks, Minecraft won't stop doing the mob vote every year. There's a reason they keep doing that, no matter how much controversy they create. It's good publicity for the game. It gets people talking. And given that they can't add all 3 of them into the game, since it will take time away from the actual update, we'll just take them on that. There's a lot more they could do to lessen the controversy that spikes up in every one of these. Now, the things I'm about to say aren't perfect, they're not gonna 100% end all the hate, but I bet that they will make it a bit better. Starting off with Remedy 1, bring back the old mobs who lost the mob vote. Now hold on, bear with me for a second, okay? Now a main theme that I personally saw that stuck out in these revolution posts was the idea that once a mob loses the mob vote, they're gone forever. Mojang employees have come out since then and said that this isn't true, that the lost mobs go onto an idea board or something, I really don't know. However, actions speak louder than words. And when Mojang already doesn't have the trust of the community, and the fact that when in the last 6 years that the mob votes have been happening, none of the losing mobs have been ever added back into the game, you can see why people still believe this despite what everything Mojang has said. Oh wait, wait a minute, they did once. In 2019, a biome vote was held, pretty much the mob vote, but you choose which biome gets updated. The 3 options were the swamps, the badlands, and the mountains. The mountains won the vote and was later added into 1.18, but an update later, the swamp, a losing biome, got added back into the game. The problem is they only did this once. If they do this more and more people will realize that, oh shit, the mobs that lose aren't axed forever. They actually have a potential to be added back. This new update that was announced seemed to have had a theme of tinkering in it, so I don't know, maybe they could add the copper golem into it. In updates where they change up the biomes, maybe they could add the penguin, or the isolager, or the crab, or the moo bloom, who knows? Maybe they could even add that tentacle fish thing, or whatever it was called. This could also make it so that the majority that inevitably does get pissed off when the mob vote happens isn't as pissed off as they normally would be. Now, for Remedy 2, they could have better communication with these events. Even with the mobs that did win, with each and every one of them, people have slowly realized that they aren't as game-changing as they seemed. People thought the LA could duplicate items, but it didn't. People thought the sniffer's sniffing mechanic would be explored more, but it wasn't. People thought the Phantom would be good, but it wasn't. These false expectations are definitely something that arise from poor communication. Something that I thought that this year's mob vote did pretty well. Each mob's description was carefully worded out so that people wouldn't really have false hopes for it, which I really hope that statement doesn't age poorly. But this vital aspect, this communication, is something that Mojang needs to do more and more to regain the trust of the community back again. The more and more they do this, the less likely it probably will be that another workers' union happens again. Now, I don't know what happens in Mojang, maybe it's probably a lot more complicated than I seem to think. There's probably a lot more that goes on behind the scenes that make things a lot messier than they seem to be at first. But those were just my thoughts on everything. Maybe they might see this video, maybe they won't. Maybe people might see this video, maybe they won't. Maybe it'll get like 10 views, who knows. They probably won't, given that I have like 400 subs, so it's not really that likely. But despite everything that happened, you still can't deny that united we bargain, divided we beg ain't a banger line. Like, come on.
What the hell?